In Chapter 7 of The Smartphone Paradox Going Dark by Dr. Reed, we talk a lot about the implications of smartphone usage when it comes to privacy concerns, the concept of techno self, and the value of boredom in the digital age. And those were the three common main ideas of this chapter. So starting with privacy and surveillance, Dr. Reed starts off by exploring how the difference between law enforcement's needs and our individual privacy rights. He discusses the going dark phenomenon, which is how in encryption, they give authorities the ability to access digital communications. The chapter references some high profile cases, I guess, which is how the FBI has requested for Apple to unlock an iPhone, which we talked a lot about in class, and how is that right or wrong, or is that taking away from our privacy, which I know a lot of us were kind of well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so I don't have to worry about it, but it is something to think about more deeply. His discussion on this highlights the balance between national security and individual freedoms. The going dark debate underscores the challenges in navigating balancing this in the era of technology we're living in. Secondly, Dr. Reed talks about the concept of techno self, which is examining how constant smartphone use will blur the lines between human identity and technology, which is a common theme that we've seen in a lot of the articles and podcasts and videos and from all the authors we've heard from this semester. And Dr. Reed argues that our devices have really just become an extension of ourselves, and they really do influence our behaviors and our thoughts and our human interaction. And this just raises a lot of questions about how can we be our own person when our phones are our whole life. And then the concept of this also raises more important questions about the extent to which technology is shaping our identities, and how they're so involved in our daily life that it's kind of hard to distinguish a difference between my phone and me at this point. Another thing we talked about was boredom, which was piggybacked kind of off of what we heard last week in the podcast we listened to, which I had finished the podcast and I had thought about it, and I was like that's really interesting. I haven't been bored in a while. I had never thought about that. And I brought it up to my friend, and she had told me that she had actually already heard this podcast before. And she had started talking about it, and she was like, yeah, I already heard this. I listened to it with my mom in the car one time, and I just found that really interesting because, she, kind of, it was just nice, for her to know exactly what I was talking about. But yeah, he finishes off the chapter by advocating for the benefits of boredom. He suggests that constant digital engagement diminishes our capacity for creativity. If we embrace our moments of boredoms, we could probably have better deep thoughts, be more innovative, things like that. I think about it when I was a kid and I didn't have a phone, I was outside playing with anything I could find and just coming up with all this stuff to do, and I don't do that anymore. The chapter also references studies that indicate that people are often prefer discomfort over being alone with their thoughts, which is just crazy. But by defending boredom, Dr. Reed challenges the notation that constant stimulation is beneficial. The disagreement from digital devices can lead to more enhanced creativity and self-awareness, and just help us overall. But in conclusion, The chapter Going Dark encourages readers to again reflect on their relationship with technology, being more mindful approach, having a more mindful approach to our smartphone usage when it comes to privacy, identity, and like mental space, which is again just like constant common themes that we have been hearing all semester. So yeah.